Welcome back to Jacoby Rising. My name is James and welcome to another Dead Space video on the channel. So I mentioned before, I want to do Dead Space videos and I want to talk about all these things Dead Space, anticipation for the upcoming, eventually, Dead Space 4. I also want to talk about how I got into the series and why I'm here making videos about Dead Space. Because with Halo, I really got into Halo through my childhood and filmmaking, and that really stirred me towards that direction, right? So Halo had a big impact on my life, and Dead Space was nowhere near as impactful as Halo was on my life. But the reason why I got into Dead Space was because of storytelling. I'm not a survival horror fan. I don't like blood. I don't like guts. I don't like killings. I don't like death. I don't really like the horror genre. Halloween is one of my least favorite holidays in the year, just because I don't like the atmosphere in the holiday or just the atmosphere of Halloween. I'm a very upbeat guy. I like positivity. I like flowers. I like rainbows. I just like happy things, which is super funny because I'm generally like an upbeat, positive, optimistic type of person, but I love writing really dark, negative things. So I guess I'm just drawn to negative things, and I guess as people, we like to see other people suffer, and that's why reality television is so huge on the world. And conflict is king. If you're into script writing, conflict is usually always the most important thing. That's why there's drama everywhere in TV and movies. It's conflict. People like seeing other people do shit. So yeah, Dead Space, I was attracted to the story from the beginning. I wanted to know like what the Ishimura was, what the necromorphs were, what the markers were, and I was super curious at everything that was going on in this game. And the gameplay was also extremely fun. The fact that we were playing third person and everything was on the screen. That's another thing that I liked about Dead Space was, like, you look at Halo and there's so much crap on the screen when you're in first person. Because you have your radar, you have your map, you have your weapon in front of you, you have your ridicule where you shoot the targeting, you have your grenade count, your weapon count, your secondary weapon. You have so much shit on the screen, and Dead Space was one of the first games that had everything in-game on the screen. So your health bar is on the back of your character's body. When you aim your weapon, you can see your ammo count. When you look up stuff in the menu, it's in-game, so if you get attacked by an enemy, you still get hit in-game. Everything was in-game, and I love that. And that added more diversity and more immersion into this survival horror aspect. Not to mention, when Dead Space came out, this game was fucking beautiful. This game was gorgeous. I thought Dead Space was the most realistic game I ever played in my life back in 2008. And I never beat the demo. I could never beat the demo. I actually did beat the demo now, but going back when Dead Space was coming out, the demo was coming out, I couldn't finish the demo because I was so scared at everything going on in this game. The atmosphere was freaky, the sound effects were freaky, the music was tense. It was insane. So I never beat the demo because I was too scared. I never really looked into Dead Space either. I never was an active fan. When Dead Space 1 came out in 2008, I didn't follow it at all. I looked into it. I played the demo a little bit, but I didn't really do anything else. Dead Space 2 came out a couple years later, didn't care. Dead Space 3 came out, and I still didn't care, but I got into the series about a year after it went dormant. Dead Space came out when I was still, like, obsessed with Halo. There was a part in my life where I would only play Halo games. I would not play any other game except Halo, because for some reason, I thought, my God, every game is inferior to Halo, because Halo's just goddamn amazing. This was during the Halo 3 era, before ODST, so if I can defend my addicted self, a lot of people can definitely say that Halo 3 is their favorite Halo game. A lot of Halo fans can generally say that Halo 3 was easily the best time for Halo. So I can give myself a little pass, because looking back to what Halo was back then compared to looking at it now, it's like, okay, addicted James kid, you can keep playing Halo 3. Enjoy that shit, man, because in 8 years you're gonna fucking cry. When I play Dead Space, it's like, okay, I know this game is a survival horror game. I know that. So there's two ways I could go about playing Dead Space. If I want to be a pussy, I'll play Dead Space only during the daytime. Or if I want to be really ballsy, and if I want to really immerse myself into this world, play Dead Space only at night, by yourself, with surround sound headphones on. And I did that for Dead Space 2 and 3. I did not do that for Dead Space 1. I played Dead Space 1 in broad daylight with like as much light source to get into my room as possible, because that game was freaky as shit. But the other two games I played completely in the dark by myself, surround sound. And let me say that like doing that is just so much better. You know, like I don't like being scared, but I purposely put myself in the world of Dead Space to just fully grasp Dead Space. And I was scared shitless, man, for the crap that I saw. I don't know what those things are called. I forget what they're called. I gotta look up the names for the necromorphs. But those fucking things you encounter in the second game that, like, stalk you, and then they just hide behind, like, objects, and then they run out and then attack you, then they run back. I hate the sound they make. Those things scare the shit out of me, and they were so annoying to deal with in Dead Space 2. Oh my god. And, like, when you're on, like, a higher difficulty level, they're even more annoying to deal with. Anyway, I'm kind of, like, ranting on and off, but I got into Dead Space after the series came out. Like a year or two after the series came out. So still very recently I got into this series. And I played through the first one, loved it. I played through the second one, didn't think it could top the first one. In my opinion, the second one was better. And it blew me fucking away. The third one, I don't know. So Dead Space 3 is an interesting game to me because, like I said, at the end of the day, all I give a shit about is story. If the story is amazing, I don't care what setting it's in, just give me a good story, and that's all I care about when it comes to, I guess, gaming, is a good story. And I love the first Dead Space, I love the second Dead Space, and I played the third Dead Space, and I loved the story that was in the third Dead Space, but a lot of people dislike the third game because it's not as horror-esque as the first two games. So a lot of people can say Dead Space 3 is a good game, but it's not a good Dead Space game, and I can see what they mean by that. But Dead Space 3 still carried the story from Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 1. It still carried that story, and not to mention the length of the game is like, oh my god, so much longer. I remember playing through the third game, and I'm like 20 hours in, and I'm like, okay, this game is really long for a Dead Space game, because usually the first two games I can beat them within like 8 to 12 hours, but Jesus Christ, it took me like 20 to 30 hours to beat the third Dead Space game. Is it just me, or was the third one so much longer than the last two? And I don't mind that. You know, like I said, I like story. Give me more good story. I'm cool with that. This is kind of like turning into like a more commentary than what I like about Dead Space. But I like Dead Space because of the gameplay and the story, and that's really it. That really drew me in. I completely ignored the horror aspects. I thought they were nice, and they definitely did them really well. I was scared, obviously, when I played through the game, but I really cared about the gameplay and the story, and I thought that those two things shined extremely well, which is why I do like the third Dead Space game, and I love the first two, obviously, for the horror reasons and the gameplay and the story reasons. So that's my quick little rundown on Dead Space, on how I got into it. I could definitely keep going more into detail, and I might do that in future commentaries, but let me know how you guys, or girls, or people watching, how did you get into Dead Space? Are you a huge horror fan, and unlike me, you love seeing blood and guts and stuff flying, and you just, oh my god, Dead Space, I heard this is a good game, blah, blah, blah. Let me know how you got into Dead Space. What is your story? Because I'm sure it's a hell of a lot different than mine. My name is James of JKP Rising. Stay tuned for some more Halo videos and Dead Space videos here on JKP Rising. Have a great day.